Guys, good morning. Quick video for you today. I am flat out with meetings, but trying to put some more value, love, care, attention into my YouTube because I know you guys get a lot of value out of the long form. So, something I want to speak about today is mindset with money. I had a call yesterday with some people, and ultimately it came down to the fact that they didn't want to invest in the program because of their anxiety around spending money because they didn't have the money, right? And it's really interesting because when you invest in like a business program, I mean, unless it's a shit one or you don't put the work in, you're most likely going to get a return on investment. So it's like, if you're not investing in things that are going to give you a return, how on earth do you expect to grow as a person? How on earth do you expect to grow your business, right? And it's like, it's very much like what came first, the chicken or the egg? Do you bite the bullet and invest in something that's going to help you get to the next level? Or do you keep on struggling and maybe you'll figure it out on your own? Maybe you won't. Statistically, you probably won't because 90% of businesses fail. I know I succeeded in my first business, but I also invested a lot into coaches and mentors, which I think made me slightly different at the time because coaching wasn't really a thing back then. It was more of just like business courses run by the government, or you would find someone locally who you could pay to coach you on how to be better at business. That's kind of the crux of it before it all got commercialized like it is now. But what I'm trying to say is, like, the transformation always happens in the transaction. So when someone decides to, put thousands of dollars down on a program that is inevitably going to help them make thousands more dollars, that's what, that mindset of taking that risk is where the transformation happens. Because at that point, you've been burnt so hard, you've been stung by the fact that money has left your bank account, that you think, okay, well, I paid that much money. I'm going to put all my effort into this to make sure it works. I've burned the boats, right? And that burning the boats terminology is so key because it's worked for me countless times in my career, both in video and in coaching. I have burnt the boats. Like, I remember when I joined Jeremy's program, who's my coach. He's a coach that coaches coaches, which is the meme online. But meme aside, I think everyone needs a coach. Like, I'm sure Jeremy has a coach and his coach has a coach, and it goes all the way to the top, right? Because everyone needs leadership, everyone needs direction, and everyone's coach is like 5 or 6 steps ahead of where they're at. And like, that's your goal as a coach, really, is to help people get to where they need to go. But anyway, I digress. I remember when I joined Jeremy's program, it was very much like this is Porsche doing. God, I'm an idiot. It was very much like I was burning the last dregs of my runway to get where I need to go. And it hurt because by paying that money to enter the program, I had to burn the boats, right? And it was really fucking scary because I was like, what if I don't get this money back? What if it fails? What if I do this? I'm an idiot. What's my wife going to think? But at the end of the day, when you're willing to put money down on a program that's inevitably going to help you, you're not betting on everyone else. You're betting on yourself. And I think that's why the transformation's in the transaction. I think that's why it works, because you're taking the leap and actually betting on yourself rather than staying in the safe, protective bubble you've built for yourself where you have anxiety around spending money. But because you have that anxiety, you're not very good at receiving money. You're not very good at, that's why they call it currency, right? Because it's a current. It's always changing. And if you close your palm to keep hold of what you've got, you're rejecting other money to come in. Like, money needs to be spent. That's the purpose of it, right? But we need to spend it in order to receive it. Like, there's that saying that you need to spend money to make money. And it's very much true. It's very much true. And I think, most people who are either at the 9-to-5 level or the struggling freelancer level, they really struggle to grasp that concept of investing in things that are actually going to help them. I know it's so easy to invest in things like cameras or lenses or kit and stuff like that. But those things aren't like, those are creative solutions for creative problems. They are not going to solve the business problem that you have, right? So videographers, if you're watching this, look, I'm really not saying you to join my program. I'm really not saying you to join, you need to, choose me as a coach. But this is what I can tell you from being in the video production game and the business game for nearly a decade. You need help, because figuring the business shit out alone is very fucking hard. Now, I did it with the help of coaches as well, and I did a lot of it by myself, but I also was unique in the game that I had a natural, very strong passion and interest towards the business side, less so the video side. And I know 99% of the videographers I speak to aren't like that. They are in love with the video and the storytelling side. So if that's you, which it most likely is, you're going to really fucking struggle figuring the business side out on your own, because you're just not going to be that interested or passionate about it. So it's going to be an uphill battle from the start. Whereas I had one step forward, one foot forward. I was always looking for answers, looking for coaches that could fix those things for me, because I gave a shit. Whereas you guys are probably like, oh, I wonder how I can fix this new LUT pack, or how Peter McKinnon's done that fucking flare effect in his new lens, or insert random creative thing that doesn't move the needle forward here. But, to wrap this like short but loving video up, guys, it's, you need to bet on yourself. You need to invest in yourself. You need to put like your money where your mouth is. If you're not prepared to do that, then don't expect to ever change, and don't expect to ever leave that feast or famine cycle. I mean, fuck, for someone who's been through that feast or famine for nearly 3 years, I can tell you right now, I would much rather spend thousands of dollars making sure I never have to feel that again. Making sure I never have to feel that, that I can't sleep at night because I don't know where the money's come from. That I can't rest because I don't know where the next job is. I have a scarcity mindset, so I'm always underquoting myself, right? I don't want to ever feel like that again, and I haven't felt like that in years. But it took a lot of practice, a lot of patience to be able to get to that, and a lot of skill. Yeah, what I'm basically trying to tell you guys is, you like, fundamentally, you need to bet on yourselves. You need to bet on yourselves, because I can promise you right now, if you don't bet on yourself, no one else is going to. Your partner's not going to, your parents aren't going to, your friends aren't going to. They might say they are, but in reality, if it came down to it, if they had to put their money on the line to bet on you, they probably wouldn't, because you're not betting it on yourself. Now, if you're not willing to do that, really respectfully, maybe the 9-to-5 isn't such a bad option for you, because it's a hard world out here, right? And without guidance, or without insane amount of grit, you're going to really struggle. And I don't mean that you're going to struggle in the sense that you're going to have to go back to a 9-to-5, but you're really never going to break it out of that beginner freelancer stage. And a 5K month is going to be the best month that you could ever really wish for. Guys, there are people driving fucking Lamborghinis and yachts. Like, the idea that 5K a month is a lot for you is literally a mindset problem, because there are people who have come from council estates, people who have come from no money, who have absolutely made it, just because they believed in themselves and they bet on themselves. And if you're not willing to do that, then go back to playing checkers while everyone else is playing chess. Thanks, guys.